Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be checking out how Germany gave Belgium its highest mountain and then tried to get it back. I don't know why they did that or anything about it, actually. So we're going to check this out. I've always been curious about this. Well, not always, but recently. Um, I know the Netherlands is pretty flat. I don't know much about Belgium. I'm assuming, and from what I hear, like a lot of it's flat, not quite Netherlands flat, obviously. But yeah, we're gonna find out how Germany gave Belgium its highest mountain and then tried to get it back. So, as always, links to the original video will be in the description section down below. So make sure you go check that out. Give the original channel some love. Go hit like on their video. So check it out.
Hello and guten Tag. It is June 2022 and I'm on a French-speaking train, but I'm about to arrive in the German-speaking region of Belgium. Yes, it may be small, but it does exist, and this is its capital city of Eupen, or as the train calls it, Eupen. And from here, we're hopping straight on a bus to go up into the hills of the High Fens and climb the highest mountain in Belgium. But while we're doing that, why did this tiny bit of the country end up speaking German?
So is that in the Limburg province of Belgium? Because it looks like it's like just south of the Limburg province of the Netherlands. I know that Belgium also has the Limburg province. It looks like it's close by.
And how did Belgium's highest mountain suddenly move 3 kilometers southeast in 1919? This is the story of the mighty Signal de Botrange.
Interesting.
Doesn't sound very German.
Belgium's highest mountain. It looks pretty flat
Today
there.
we're taking on the highest mountain of the 3 Benelux countries. I've already climbed the highest point in the Netherlands and the highest point in Luxembourg.
Okay, yeah, so Luxembourg, Belgium. So then the German-speaking areas right here. Yeah, that is south of the Limburg region in Netherlands. I wonder if it is also Limburg.
And this is the biggest of the lot. But in theory, it's the easiest one to climb. The bus that I'm on normally takes you right to the top of the mountain. But of course, the day that I come here, the road up to the summit is completely blocked by roadworks, and the buses are on diversion. So we are going to have a bit of a hike. But today's first challenge is to negotiate an alternative stopping point with a German-speaking bus driver.
Ich kann sie aber auch auf der anderen Seite rauslassen, dann kommen sie vielleicht noch besser ran, weil die jetzt eine Baustelle.
Ja, vielleicht. Ja, hier ist okay.
Hier ist okay?
Ja, ja. Vielen Dank.
Jo,
Schönen Tag.
Tschüss.
Tschüss.
I'll be honest, this isn't totally going to plan at the moment. The bus was about 15 minutes late, and there's all sorts of roadworks at the junction up to the Botrange. So I don't know quite how I'm going to get there. I'm walking along the other road and I'm hoping to
Better just trek up that mountain.
sort of curve off at some point. This looks promising.
It
So
doesn't
why
even
was
look-
that Belgian bus driver speaking German? Well, historically, the city of Eupen and the region around it, called Eupen-Malmedy, used to be in Germany, right up until World War I. But at the end of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles famously forced Germany to give back all the territories it had gained during the war. And in the middle of that, somehow, Belgium managed to claim Eupen-Malmedy, even though it had never been part of Belgium before. Long story short, 60,000 Germans woke up one morning in 1919 to find that they were suddenly Belgian, and not all of them were happy about it.
I bet that would have been pretty interesting. Yeah, probably what's going on here soon in Ukraine.
We'll come back to them in a bit, but they weren't the only victims of sudden Belgium syndrome. This is the same bit of history that created that Fenbahn border you may have heard about on YouTube. But more importantly for this video, it also meant Belgium border you may have heard about. Belgium syndrome. This is the same bit of history that created that Fenbahn border you may have heard about on YouTube. But more importantly for
Well, I might have to check that out, actually.
this video, it also meant Belgium's highest mountain no longer was. Until then, the 674-metre Barak Michel had claimed the title, But the new territory included the 694-metre Signal de Botrange, and so the highest point of Belgium moved 3 kilometres southeast.
Okay. But how they try to get it back, though?
So you're probably expecting me to be doing some climbing today. It's pretty flat.
That's what I was, yeah.
The problem is...
That's what I was saying. It's pretty damn flat. So it must just take like forever to actually get to the top. Like it's not a steep incline at all.
Although the summit is at 694 metres, pretty much everything else around here is already at 693 metres. So this is it, the final ascent to the summit.
But while we complete our grueling climb, how did Belgium get away with just blagging a small piece of Germany?
So that's not even a real mountain then. Everything else is around it's just like a meter less. It's just like a hill. Just happens to be a decent amount above sea level.
Well, it's a classic case of political shenanigans. The annexation of Eupen-Malmedy was formalised in 1920 with what Wikipedia describes as a controversial referendum, and immediately several political groups sprang up, protesting against Belgian sovereignty and demanding a return to Germany. In the 1930s, the situation reached boiling point as the protest movement gained more and more momentum, and although support for returning to Germany had dropped quite dramatically among the more left-wing locals, by 1936, a pro-German
That dropped. They didn't just drop dramatically, that tanked. Look at that.
protest movement gained more and more momentum, and although support for returning to Germany had dropped quite dramatically among the more left-wing locals, by 1936, a pro-German and openly pro-Nazi party had gained a majority in all 3 districts of Eupen-Malmedy. And as it happens, they got their wish. When Hitler invaded Belgium in 1940, they welcomed his troops here with open arms. And open bar, apparently. Finally, Eupen-Malmedy was together with Germany again. But for reasons you may be aware of, that relationship turned sour pretty quickly. When Hitler decided to take on the Soviet Union a year later, 8,000 local men were conscripted and sent to the Eastern Front, and 2,000 of them never came back. You know the rest of the story. In 1945, Belgium reclaimed Eupen-Malmedy, and this time, the locals didn't really complain about it.
I didn't know the rest of the story, but now I know. I'm going to have to check more into this.
It is great to be out in the countryside again.
Is
The wind
that
in the
it?
trees.
Did they... Is that the top of the mountain? They just like... Did they sculpt it to make it look pointier? Did they just add dirt to the top to make it taller? Like, what's going on with that?
It is great to be out in the countryside again. The wind in the trees, birds in the air, the beeping of the excavators.
Yeah, all nature sounds, huh? Excavators and all.
If you can hear me over the construction work, because the mountain is 694 metres high, they built this 6-metre tower just to get out to 700 metres.
Yep, I knew it.
And there we are. A beautiful view.
It's not even... that's not a mountain. The highest point in Belgium. It's not a mountain by any means. Okay, there's still one.
I think we might actually have a view up here.
Or is this another lookout point? There's nothing to look out at. Not much. I mean, it's just flat.
So there we are, the Signal de Botrange, the highest mountain in Belgium.
I mean, it's not flat. There's rolling hills, but it's certainly not mountainous.
Which leaves one question. If this used to be part of Germany, why does it have a French name? Well, just to make things even more confusing, the Malmedy bit of Eupen-Malmedy has always spoken French, even when it was part of Germany.
Hello, hello.
Because before that, it used to be part of France. And that's how a small piece of France ended up in Germany and then joined with 2 other bits of Germany and became part of Belgium before briefly returning to Germany, but is now very much Belgian. But they still speak German, except for this bit, which, as I previously mentioned, speaks French. As usual, I hope I've cleared everything up.
No, you made it more confusing. That's the whole thing.
If you'd like to climb the highest mountain in Belgium, there is a car park literally on the summit, a bus stop with connections to Eupen, Verviers and St. Vith, and the roadworks should be done by August. As mountaintop
Hopefully done by August is what he says, huh? You never know.
Eupen, Verviers and St. Vith, and the roadworks should be done by August. As mountaintops go, it is extremely accessible. The paths are pretty good, and it's all very flat up here.
'Cause it's not a
Unfortunately,
mountain.
that does mean there's not much of a view, but there is a small gift shop, a restaurant that's open at weekends, and ski hire in winter. I hope you like cross country, because good luck finding a slope anywhere near here.
Yeah,
and as
right.
always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.
Because it's not a mountain. Mountains have slopes. There's no slope. There's your clue, right? All right. I'm gonna have to check out some more of those videos that he mentioned earlier. Which one was it? Right here. World's weirdest border. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. But in the meantime, you guys take care, hit like, hit subscribe, and have a super fun, awesome day.